Hello, everyone, and welcome back into Yelling from the Couch. I'm Brent Humphreys, joined by Gage Berdovich and Gordon Chatterton this week once again. Guys, we had some UFL last week. Maybe a Kentucky Derby happened. Maybe some playoff hockey's going on. That's about it, though. There's nothing else going on in the sports world right now. Fellas, how we doing? Gordon, how you doing, man? You doing all right since we talked on here last week?
Yeah, we're doing pretty good. Found some knowledge this weekend, today. A buddy of mine that I work with kind of gave me a little bit of knowledge. A fart is just a turd's way of honking the horn to get out.
Nice.
Yeah.
Makes sense. So, yeah, hey, dropping some knowledge on Gordon early on here.
Yeah, you know what? I've been very good. I've been taking a lot of walks recently. The weather's been nice up here. And speaking of walks, the Pirates just, sweeping the Reds this past weekend, and the Reds tying an MLB record of 7 straight walks. It's been feeling great. Now, don't mind the game last night between Arizona and Pittsburgh, but the Pirates swept the Reds, and we set a record. We're on the good side of it. You guys, not so much.
Oh, man. Yeah. Like I said, I didn't remember any baseball that happened over the weekend.
Me neither.
Yeah.
Mm,
We didn't
mhm,
talk about
okay.
any of it, so I don't. Did it really even happen if we didn't even notice it happen?
See, I'm pretty sure it did because which day was that? Saturday, I believe, was the game that was 1-0.
Mm,
Or no,
Sunday.
Sunday. Sunday was the game that was 1-0, and I believe there's a message in my Instagram DMs that just says, and I quote, "Don't say a thing." Not too sure if that means you didn't see it, or if maybe it just came across your phone and you were like, "Oh, Pirates lost to the," or sorry, Pirates beat the Reds. You wish they lost to the Reds, 1-0. But yeah, the brooms were out, the cones were being hoisted, and a sweep was taken.
I
It'll be
think what
different when it matters.
I think what it was there, Gage, when I sent you that message was don't say a word because you've went 4-0 on your UFL picks this
Mm.
past week. I think that's what it was. I don't because I don't remember any baseball.
I didn't.
Now, see, I also believe that as we were talking throughout the UFL weekend, I said that I wish I could remember who I picked. But I love coming on here each week and just be like, "Oh, easy. This is easy."
All right. So let's talk about it. We didn't talk about it last week because one of us had technical difficulties at the very end of this episode. So we didn't get to bring it up. And Gordon, I'm just going to go ahead and say this right now. Earlier in the year, I give you a prediction for the Reds against whoever it was that week. You said sweep. They swept them. Rangers, I think it was. Then a couple weeks later, Gordon, give me another prediction. You said, I see a sweep. And the Reds get another sweep. Then the last week, I was like, Gordon, need another prediction. You're like, I think they're probably going to get 2 out of 3. And I'm like, no, Gordon, I want to hear you say sweep. Reds took 2 out of 3. And I'm like, son of a we got to get him on here. And then last week, we didn't even get to it, and the Reds get swept. So I'm a firm believer that we're going to predict the Reds weekend series against the Astros here in just a little bit, Gordon, because you've got to give me something here on this, okay? We got to get back on track.
All righty. I'll look at while you all are talking.
So last weekend, Saturday, 17-7, the Pirates beat the Reds. 7 walks in 1 inning, tied major league record for the Reds. Pittsburgh scores 5 runs in the inning and didn't even have a hit. Tell me.
They had more hits in 4 innings than Kebron Hayes had all season.
Do you want him back?
No, you can keep him. I don't remember who we got for him, but you can keep him.
I don't either, but he's a defensive wizard, as everybody says, which always helps out a lot when you're struggling at the plate. Everybody.
Yeah, but when you're struggling this bad, how much does that really help?
What hurts right now is Suarez being out and not having somebody to play third base, because you could put Matt McClain over there, who also isn't hitting. Now, Stewart's played a little bit of third base. April rookie of the month. Sorry. I don't know if he's got a hit this month or not. Maybe one. I mean, it's not been much. He had a rough series against Pittsburgh.
South Stewart. Now, okay.
Your boy got suspended because of him.
I don't know if there's history between the two. There really can't be. Chris Davinsky hasn't played in the majors. I believe that Reds game was his 3rd game up there this season, and South Stewart's a rookie. So maybe if South Stewart stopped being a little sour boy, he would be able to, take a fastball in, and Davinsky, without warning, gets thrown out gets a 2-game suspension, originally 3, appealed back to 2. And Don Kelly gets suspended for a game. What did Don Kelly do?
Listen, he was intentionally throwing at him up 10 at that point in time. It was intentional.
Sure.
He had that coming.
Yeah.
We all know the one former Reds player that they wouldn't throw the ball in high and on inside on him because he would have probably shoved the bat up his ass and pulled it out his hose. We're just glad he's retired.
Automatic.
Damn right. I mean, Joey Votto scared an entire team. They would turn around, look, then turn their heads and no, let's fight these other guys over here. Leave that alone.
I really wish ABS was around when Joey Votto played. I mean, that would have been awesome. But yeah, so the Reds, they got a lot of slumping. I mean, slumps here and there and everywhere. Last night, Emilio Pagan tears his hamstring off the bone, looks like, after one pitch in Chicago. He's going to be out probably for the season. And Gage, they make a call up, and they bring up a guy who hasn't been there in a while. TJ Antone finally returns, which means Jose Trevino hopefully can go back to backup catcher instead of pitching when they're down 12 in the 8th and 9th inning like he did 4 times last week.
I was going to say, he pitched 4 innings last week. Now, he has a 15.75 ERA, but he appeared in 3 separate games, 2 of them being the Pirates. Is there no other position player for the Reds that can pitch?
After last night, TJ Friedel dropped a ball in left field with 2 outs that would have ended the inning. Give the Cubs a little bit of hope out there. And maybe we could put him out there as a pitcher and get him out of the outfield because obviously they're not demoting him either because he ain't done nothing. Maybe, I don't know. Maybe you put Key Brian Hayes. Can he throw it pretty good as a pitcher?
What about Ellie De La Cruz? I mean, if he can't play a hop at shortstop, we know he can fire the ball. Put him on the mound.
Yeah, I'm sure he could throw faster than the 39-mile-an-hour Ephus pitch that Jose Trevino was out here throwing.
Marcell Ozuna got rung up against Jose Trevino for a pitch that was 2 feet above the strike zone.
Should have challenged it.
I mean, at that point, it's like we're up by 10. I'm not even gonna waste my time. And then Jose Trevino, just to continue his run of greatness he had going on this weekend, challenged a pitch that was 6 inches above the strike zone, called a ball, and he was like, "Nah, that's a strike." And it comes up like, no, that wasn't even close, Josie.
To be fair, Jose Trevino is like 5'7", so it really everything above a certain spot is high for him. So you really couldn't tell. So I'll give him a little pass on that. But hopefully he's not pitching anymore for the Reds this year. TJ Antone, hopefully he can stay healthy. This guy's had a lot of injuries the last few years. Season ending. Glad to see him get back in there and get at least another chance to pitch. I don't know how long that's going to last for him, but cool to see him back up in the big leagues.
Yeah, and you guys want to talk all this trash about Emilio Pagan. How much money is he making this year? 20 mil?
15, something like that. He's one of the highest paid players right now on the Reds roster.
So then that brings up this question right here. Why are the Reds paying Pagan American dollars? I'll let you guys answer that because I don't.
Yeah. So this is kind of like a Danhausen, American dollars. Why are the Reds paying
human monies? Human monies.
Yeah. American human dollars. Why are the Reds paying him this much? I don't know. Bad investment right here because in the offseason, you could have got anybody to close.
I wouldn't pay him American dollars. I wouldn't pay him pounds. I might pay him francs or pesos, but that's about it.
Now, you guys could have got a Aroldis Chapman.
I mean, yeah, he was out there. I would have.
Yeah.
I'm sure he would. He's probably not making a whole lot, right? He can't be. Probably a 1-year deal.
It is 1 year, $13.3 million.
Okay, I mean that's Pagan. What's he making? 10?
Well, let's see here.
And Pagan last year, he was rocky in several of his saves. I mean, he got out of some of them, but there was a lot. He put a guy on base. Seemed like every time he come in, and it's continued this year.
They had to save a little bit of money with Pagan. Pagan's only making $10 million this year.
Give me $3 more million. I'll take Chapman.
You mean you'll take the guy who's up to 6 saves already this year? Sorry, 7 saves, 14 strikeouts across 11 innings, and a .77 ERA.
Yeah, I know. It seems kind of silly to go for that, wouldn't it?
Yeah. I
I'm
don't get
sure
it.
he's not the Cuban Missile anymore, but I'm pretty sure he can still throw some heat.
Yeah, I'm sure he's better than what we trot out there every evening.
Well, that's not really saying much.
It's not at all.
Setting the bar low. Yeah, you'd have to have a bulldozer to find that far it's so low.
Speaking of injuries to pitchers, well, before that, Connor Griffin, I seen the stat, he was batting like one something at age 19. Since he's turned 20, he's batting like almost 400. Was he just waiting to not be a teenager anymore, spoiled little teenager? And now he's a grown man. He's out here getting real hits.
I think it's one of those things, you're a teenager, you're still getting adjusted, you need some playing time, and then you become an adult and you're like, oh man, this is easy. Let's just bat 400 in the past 11 days or whatever it's been.
He killed the Reds over the weekend, is all I know. It's like every time.
The whole Pirate squad killed the Reds.
Yeah. Well, fair enough there. But so injuries in baseball. Let's get to another injury we've got here, a pretty big one. Tarek Skubal, whatever, however you say it, to have surgery. Now, when I read this headline, we got to talk about it here. This is what is interesting to me here. He is having surgery to remove bodies from his elbow. Now, you may be thinking what I was thinking when I first heard this. How big is that elbow? If they were removing bodies from it, like, good night. It's got to be huge.
You see this water bottle here? His elbow's bigger than this. You gotta, have a little bit of surface area to have one body on it, let alone multiple bodies.
I've never heard of that before. And so you start looking at it and they're like bone chips and all kinds of stuff builds up and everything. It's like, why don't they just say bone chips? Why are they saying bodies? Because I'm like,
Yeah.
who's hot?
But
Now you know where the bodies are hid to reach Scootball's elbow.
and his timeline is like 3 to 4 months to come back, roughly, if everything goes right. Edwin Diaz had the same surgery. 3 months it took him. So we'll see if Skubal is able to come back faster than that, or maybe he has a setback and maybe he's done for the year, which really hurts him because he's a free agent after this season.
Yep. And the Dodgers are going to get him at a discount now is what it's going to be.
Or the Yankees.
Nah,
He'll come to Pittsburgh.
Gordon, what do you think about Skubal having surgery to remove bodies from his elbow?
Are they clothed?
I don't know.
All it said was they were loose. So hey, take that however you want.
Loose
Well,
bodies.
there's some people that I've been around in my past 51 years, pretty damn loose. But I'm sure they wouldn't have fit in nobody's elbow.
I hope not.
Woo! I mean, in his elbow, I mean, is his tendon still intact or is it damaged too with the body's evidently floating around there? I mean, the bodies have to take up a lot of room.
I mean, the body could come around there and grab a hold of that tendon, I guess, while it's just floating around.
Or use that as a hammock. I'm not sure.
Yeah, could.
Yeah, but I mean, that would be my main concern is that tendon damaged? I mean,
I
is
don't
that
know.
is that what caused it? I mean,
He's had Tommy John surgery before.
okay,
9
so
years
he's
ago.
had damage to his tendon before.
I-
No, it's not good.
All I know is he needs to let the bodies hit the floor.
If you don't think that's going to be on my Instagram story for this podcast.
A little bit of drowning pool there. Yeah.
All right. So last week we mentioned it in the UFL picks. Gage goes 4-0. Gordon goes 3-1, and I once again 2-2. Gage is 13-3. Gordon is 10-6, and I'm Mike Tomlin back here at 8-8. Once again, guys, you can just call me the Mike Tomlin of this podcast right here. I'm going to be consistent 500 all year long, hopefully. And it's I'm taking pride in this right here. It's a skill that I've earned here. This 500 record. Gordon, do you know what game you missed last week?
Mine.
Yes, he missed the Aviators. It's the only one he missed.
Now, how does that happen, Gordo? What were you thinking?
I think
Yeah.
I even called your team winning by double digits.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You did.
But you said you were trying to take my strategy going against your team just so this way you get a win somewhere, and you would have went 4-0 right with me. If you would have just
Well,
went with your team.
Hey, but if I'd have picked them, they would have lost. So then I would still lost the game. So
True.
So the first game of the weekend last weekend, the Battlehawks stifled the Kings 16-3. And the Thursday night matchup, the Derby City Classic. The Battlehawks played defense. The Kings, once again, could not run. It was 9-3 at the half, and there was a touchdown at the end. Made it 16-3. What else can you really say about this game right here except for I mean, it was just horrible by the Kings to come out flat at home on a Thursday night and just not be able to do anything after putting up 45 points the week before, 47 points the week before, and then come out and put 3 at home. Just a big letdown for the Kings right there. And the Battlehawks are what are they now? 3-3, 4-2,
something like that.
something like that. But
Did you?
I watched a little bit of it. I mean, it was not a good watch.
I worked all week and all weekend.
I mean,
to
St.
watch it.
Louis had 6 sacks against the Kings, and that's some of that revamped offense that we talked about a few weeks ago, where they cut their left tackle and their left guard, got rid of Benny Snell, and got rid of their quarterback, and then you take 6 sacks here. Yeah, I don't. It wasn't pretty, man.
Well, we talked last week especially about how, like, oh, the running game was back. The running game was back. Well, it's
Yeah.
because you played a defense that can't stop the run. Now this week's come back and your leading rusher is James Robinson, 7 for 13 yards.
Not good at all. You can't run the ball. You can't pass the ball. It doesn't open up anything for that. You can't score. And obviously that's what happened here with the Kings. Battlehawks win it. Let's move on. Gordon, the next night, your Aviators get revenge on the Gamblers, 24-17 over Houston. 1 week after falling to Houston in Houston, they come back home. They get the revenge, 24-17. Aviators get their second win of the season. How you feel about it, Gordon? Did you catch any of it?
I was working, and then by the time I got home, I was too tired to watch it. I said I have to get up at 4, and I drive an hour to work and an hour home. I get home after 7. So by the time I got home, I was too tired to watch it. No, but I am happy they won. I'm glad I didn't pick them, because so far, if I picked them, they've lost. When I go against them, they win. And that's kind of how it's been. See, last week, remember I said I thought they were going to win and cover, and they lost, and they lost by more than what they would have get. I mean, it was just bad. So
Well,
I'm going to continue that strategy. I'm just going to go against them.
they had a season high 367 total yards of offense in this game. Your boy McClendon, 187 yards and a touchdown.
It wasn't him. He
So,
was probably throwing tunnel screens to the receivers, and they was getting a lot of yak, which was making him look better. His probably air yards probably total 10.
you know what the problem is for the Gamblers is that quarterback position, which didn't they make a move this week, Gage?
The Gamblers?
Was it the Gamblers?
It was the Gamblers. I was going to get to that. Yeah, there is now a Tagovailoa free agent out there in the world, as Talia Tagovailoa was released.
See why.
Can't see why. He completed 6 of 10 passes for 65 yards with a touchdown. He has thrown the only 2 touchdown passes for the Gamblers this season. And this just leaves 2 quarterbacks left on Houston's roster, Nolan Henderson and Hunter freaking Deckers. Who's going to be the starter? I don't know.
Did they get the guy from Pittsburgh too? No. Plumlee.
Were they the ones that signed Plumlee? I can't remember if it was them or not.
I think so.
He is
Where did that go to college at?
Plumlee went to
His name-
UCF and Ole Miss.
UCF's where I heard him from because he played
Yeah,
with
UCF.
RJ Harvey.
Yeah.
So-
Honestly, he was the guy that I wanted Pittsburgh to give out a chance to, because he's a quarterback / wide receiver. Last year with the wide receiver issues, we could have just put him up there and see what he gave you, but no, we're not going to do that.
Well, after they
And-
got him, head coach Kevin Sumlin said this was our quarterback the whole time because I guess they drafted him in the UFL draft. And
Yeah,
Pittsburgh had the rights to him.
Yeah,
Now he's
they
back.
drafted him, and then Pittsburgh signed him to the futures contract, and then Pittsburgh released him, and the Gamblers were like, "All right, you're mine."
We'll see how that works out for him. But yeah, good win for the Aviators there to get their second win on the board. Now there's like 4 teams tied at 2-4. You know, everybody's still got a shot at these playoffs, actually. So we'll see here.
Yep.
Their next game we've got coming up, Gage, and Saturday, 24-6. The Defenders continue their dominance with a win over the Renegades. The Renegades, who the first 3 weeks of the season looked like they were the cream of the crop in the UFL, and the last 3 weeks they've lost to the Aviators, Gordon's team. They've lost to the Kings, my team, and they now lost to Gage's team, the Defenders, to have a 3-game slide. They are right now holding the 4th spot in the playoffs. And this is why I think everything's up for grabs right here, because Renegades, They traded away the Spring King, and they have not looked good at all. Gage, your defenders got up 24-0 at the half.
Yeah.
And did they just take a knee the rest of the game, or what happened after that?
They basically did. It was kind of like, oh well, yeah, unless we start feeling threatened, we'll do something, but try out some stuff. Jordan Tamu did have one interception, and it was kind of a what are we doing type play. I mean, it was supposed to be a pop pass to a lineman in the end zone, and I don't know if the lineman ran the wrong route or if Tamu just really overthrew it, because there was no way from the positioning that the lineman was at that he was going to come down with this ball. The linebacker was just right there, popped it over the line. It's like the lineman's over here, the ball's up here, and it just goes right into the hands of the defender. Probably should work on that in practice. The team, although looked good overall, Tamu 20 of 28, 227, 3 touchdowns to pick. The rushing, not so much. The leading rusher was Abram Smith, 8 for 26, and they had 81 total yards on 29 attempts. So could be a little bit better. Briley Moore took a RPO screen on 4th down, like 57 yards, which really started the scoring, because after that, the defenders were able to punch it in. The Renegades just didn't look good. Austin Reed, 22 of 41, 258, a touchdown, a pick. But they were also down a lot, so he had to throw a lot.
Yeah. What was that wide receiver that had that one-handed snag? Powell?
That Cornell Powell, former Chief.
Yeah. You've seen that catch right there. That's a pretty good little catch for him right there. And then your kicker kicks another long field goal again. Probably the best kicker in the UFL right now.
Oh, yeah. Matt McCrane he's the UFL GOAT. We'll leave it at that. Meanwhile, the Renegades kicker 0 for 2, missed from 47 and 51, I think it was.
Is that Anders Carlson?
No, it's Colton Feaker. Don't know who that
Feaker?
is. Never heard of him.
Sounds
Yeah,
like
I
a
don't-
character from the Muppets.
It might be.
Honestly,
Might be a better fit for him.
with the way that he played, I wouldn't be surprised if it was Beaker suiting up.
So the final game of the weekend, DTR and the Stallions, they get revenge on the Storm as they win 20-17. DTR, who was on the Storm roster, I believe in the offseason, and they let him go. And then I think he was talking smack during the game like, you could have had me. You don't. Stallions get a win. DTR played pretty well in this game here. The Storm have lost their 2nd game in a row.
Yeah. What a game from DTR. Completing 70% of passes for 271 yards and a touchdown. You'll take that. You will take that all day. Justin Ross, heck of a game. 7 for 135 and a touchdown.
Yeah, you got the Ross boys out there, Justin and John Ross.
Yeah.
Justin Ross, like you said, offensive player of the week for the UFL this past week with 135 yards, a touchdown. Orlando, they started out 4-0, just like the Renegades, which we thought Orlando were frauds. We've talked about them on this podcast this whole time. Their schedule was weak the first 4 weeks. The wins they had, 2 against the Kings, which were close games. They beat the Aviators in a close game. And then they start playing some, we'll step up in competition. Now, the Stallions haven't been great, but they made some improvements here. Maybe they've got them a quarterback now. As the Storm, maybe they're 4-2. Like I said, they've got a playoff spot right now, but I mean, there's no guarantee to make the playoffs either. 1 and 2 and 4 teams can get up there and maybe get in their spot there. But that's the games for this past week right here. Week 6. We're getting ready to do week 7 picks here in just a minute. But yeah, overall, pretty good week once again. Was it the Defenders and the Renegades that set a record for viewership Saturday?
I didn't hear anything about that. I thought you were going to say a record for amount of beer drank during a game.
That's every Defenders home game, though, isn't it? With the Snakes.
Yeah, it feels like it just keeps being broken every weekend.
Well, let's go ahead now and let's get to our picks for the UFL this week. And let's start out on Friday. Gordon, we got the Columbus Aviators traveling to St. Louis to face the Battlehawks at 8 o'clock on Fox. St. Louis is a 3.5-point favorite at home. Gage, what do you think here in this one?
Now, in case you guys missed it, there's a quarterback change this week for St. Louis. The Spring King, Luis Perez, is starting for the Battlehawks over Harrison Frost. Is he going to show why he was the Spring King, or is he going to have a little bit of rust? I mean, the guy hasn't gotten any playing time this year. Maybe he's fresh, and I think that's the case. I think he's going to go beat the visiting Aviators, and the Battlehawks take it down. They cover the 3.5.
Yeah, the Aviators going on the road here, they've been kind of a little inconsistent this season. The Battlehawks, I think they're 3-3, maybe they're 4-2. I don't remember. It's close. It's a log jam right there in the middle. I think that they're starting to pick things up here. That defense looked really good last week. I think that if the Spring King's playing this week, like you said, he's going to be fresh. He's going to be ready to go. I just don't know if the Aviators are going to be ready on the road here. It's always an adventure when Ted Ginn goes out of state to see if he can stay, ready for the game. So I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to take the Battlehawks in this one. Sorry, Gordo. And I've got the Battlehawks covering the spread here. Give me the Battlehawks. Gordon, what do you think here?
Well, I'm going to have to say sorry to myself. What's the name of the quarterback again?
Or the other.
Harrison Frost.
Yeah.
Sam Bradford.
Oh, my tendon. He's just horrible.
Skubal's favorite quarterback.
Yeah. Oh, my tendon. Yeah. Yeah, that's Screwball's quarterback. He's just not very good. And Ted Ginn Jr., like I said, as a player, loved him. Great player in college. When he got to the pros, he was okay. He had his moments, but for the most part, he was kind of a disappointment. So far as a head coach, he's been a major disappointment. And I hate to say it because I said I like the guy. I think I liked him in Ohio State. Plays a little whiny, but I guess if you're going to be a first-round draft pick, you've got a right to be a little whiny. You're protecting your investment, and your investment is your legs. So give me the Battlehawks to cover. It's going to be a clean sweep. We're going to have that graphic.
Here we go, that graphic. I tried to save the graphic last week. I picked the Storm because you all went Stallions in an upset. And I only picked that to save the graphic because I was going to pick the same thing you all did.
Give a damn. I know they're not going to win this one, so no.
Speaking of knowing a team's not going to win this one, Saturday, the Louisville Kings travel to D.C. to face the D.C. Defenders at 1:30 on Fox. D.C. is a 10-point favorite. Gordo, it's the battle between my team and Gage's team. What do you think here?
I hate to sound like someone who's just constantly repeating themselves. I'm sorry, Brent. Defenders are really good. And they have been a couple. I mean, was they XFL or UFL? Or USFL? I think that's XFL, wasn't they?
I believe so.
Well, they was good there too, and I think they were good last year. They're just a good team. So give me the Kings to cover by 20. Sorry, Brent. You're my buddy, but yeah. Okay, let's put it this way. They'll cover.
The Kings will cover? Okay. Okay.
Defenders will cover. I said, sorry, Brent.
Yeah, well, you said the Kings will cover by 20.
Oh, no.
Okay.
The 4 a.m. wake-up time is messing with me today.
I understand. So I thought you were going to be crazy there to begin with. This is a spot right here where the Kings can come out and pull off a huge upset. That defense has been looking really good all season long. Really haven't given up a whole lot. The defenders, they played good for the last 6 weeks of the season, the last 5 weeks of the season. They lost to the Battlehawks, but they haven't faced a team like the Kings are going to bring in here. They haven't faced a defense like the Kings. So with that being said, the Kings go into D.C. on Saturday. They roll in there, and the defenders just stomp them out. They probably cover. Give me D.C. to win this one. I think that they win by a couple of touchdowns, and they finally put up some points on this defense. I think they score maybe 30-something on this defense right here. It's not going to be close. Give me the defenders in this one. Gage, what do you think here?
You really had us go. Dang. Really thought you were just going to say your underdog pick of the week is the -10 Kings, because that
would be
exactly what I'm not doing this week. Okay. We're going to go with the defenders. This is game 1 of 2 between DC and Louisville. DC travels to Louisville next weekend to play the Kings again. Ask me next week what I think is going to happen. Just foreshadowing a little bit. It's going to depend, how everything turns out this weekend. It's going to depend what the spread is. But DC is bound to drop at least one more before the end of the regular season. But it's not going to be this week. The defenders win. They cover by 10.
Well, once again, we're all riding with the same ones here. So, I've been 2-2 on my picks every week. So we'll see how this goes here. We go to Saturday. We've got the Dallas Renegades traveling to Birmingham to face the Birmingham Stallions at 8 o'clock on ESPN. Dallas is a 1.5 point favorite on the road. Kind of surprising to me here. Gage, what do you think?
This actually, just not looking at the records, it's probably going to be a good game. You're going to have Austin Reed versus DTR, and Austin Reed has not looked Austin Reed. What we saw in the first couple weeks, he hasn't been that same dude. The past couple weeks now. DTR came out, he beat the Storm last week, and it's like, whoa, where did this come from? I think that momentum's going to carry on to this week and the Stallions pull out the win. Give me the Stallions in this one, and they cover.
Gage, I'm going to roll with you on this one here. The Renegades have dropped 3 in a row. They don't look like the same team that they have for the first 3 weeks of the season. Something's going on there with them. Birmingham last week looked pretty good with DTR. Maybe they're starting to get a little something going on here. They made some moves. They traded some players a couple of weeks ago to kind of help them out here a little bit. I like the Stallions to get this win at home as the home dogs. Yes, Billy Guns. So give me the Stallions here to win and to cover because they're the home dogs. Billy Gunn. Gordon, what do you think?
You both took the Billy Guns. Wow. This is very odd. This is very odd
Why is that?
because I'm taking the road favorites.
Oh,
I think the Renegades are going to straighten their shit up.
ah.
Instead of like the first 3 weeks where they thought they was the shit, then the last 3 weeks they've just been shit. They're going to straighten that shit up. It's a very shitty conversation we're having right now.
So you're saying this would be a team that Dallas fans would be proud of, the team that's going to show up this Saturday.
Oh yeah, I got a feeling they're going to play. Their defense is going to show the fuck up. They're going to hold the Stallions to under 10, and they're going to score at least. They're going to score at least 17.
Oh,
Wow. All right. So he's got the home favorites, the Renegades, and that leaves us with 1 game left for the
And
weekend.
yeah, I can't tell you how bad it is. I feel picking the Dallas team.
And now we go to Sunday, and we have the Orlando Storm traveling to Houston to face the Houston Gamblers at 6 o'clock on FS1. Orlando is a 4.5 point favorite here. Gordon, what do you think here with this one?
I haven't been on this team at all so far this year. Even when they won, I was against them. This week, no, they've had a couple struggles. Give me the road favorites again. And I think Orlando wins, but they don't cover because they give up too many points in the end and it gets close.
So, John something Plumlee, the new quarterback for the Gamblers, Hunter Deckers, somebody they're going to throw out there. It's going to come out. This is going to be the first week without Tungavailoa. The Gamblers are at home here. They've got a couple of wins. We thought they were the worst team in the UFL by far. The Storm, we thought they've been frauds all year. They're a 4.5 point favorite here. But they have been competitive in their losses, to give them credit. They just barely lost to the Stallions last week, and then the week before, who was it giving their first loss?
I think it was the Crowns.
Nope.
Kings.
It wasn't the Kings. Was it the Defenders?
I don't remember.
I don't think it was. Anyway, it doesn't matter.
Some team did.
Somebody did, but the Storm's going to storm back in here and win this game. I got the Storm winning on the road against Houston. Give me a Storm to win, but I think the Gamblers will actually cover this, and this will be a competitive game here in this one here. But I got the Storm. Gage, what do you got?
First, I want to say you owe Matt McClain an apology after talking trash about him earlier this show, saying he can't hit. It's a home run off of Colin Ray and cuts the deficit down 4-2.
You know what? I also talked a lot of smack about TJ Friedel, and he just struck out. So that is justified. Anyways.
All things balance out in life. Anyways, Storm and Gamblers. Man, as much as I want to pick the underdog here in the Gamblers, because the quarterback's either going to be our favorite Hunter Deckers or it's going to be John Rice Plumlee, I don't trust either of those two or Nolan Henderson to go out and lead up to a win, at least not yet. Plumlee hasn't been with the team enough. Deckers hasn't gotten enough reps. And Henderson has just
disappeared.
He's doing whatever. And Henderson's just been Henderson. So we're going to go with the favorite here. No underdog pick for this week. Give me the Gamblers in this one, and I think they cover that 4.5.
How odd is it that nobody went underdog pick here on these? We didn't get to do it this week. I mean, I'm sure it's happened a couple of times, maybe once, but usually we say the road dog, Jesse James, at least once.
Well, he just took the home dogs. We both Billy Gunned it.
We Billy
I didn't Billy Gunn or road dog. I mean,
Bart gunned it. All right, so
yeah, I Bart Gunned it.
so that is our picks for the UFL for the week. And now, as I mentioned earlier, Gordon, we're doing it right here. The Astros roll into Cincinnati for a 3-game set this weekend. Gordon, what do you think the Reds will do this weekend? Right now, they're down 4-2 to the Cubs in the 3 of a 4-game set. They've lost 2 in a row. They could be swept, losing 7 in a row by the time this series rolls around.
But
What do you think?
But the series I'm picking is not from the NL Central. It's from the American League, which is kind of funny because the Astros used to be in the National League.
They used to be in the Central with the Reds.
Rep. But that was when Nolan Ryan and Mike Scott was their pictures. Now, that's some hard shit to hit, I guarantee it. Nolan Ryan, the man threw a ball so fast he could go through a car wash and not get wet.
Ask Robin Ventura about.
Yeah, not fun. Anyways, but Astros are kind of down. I know the Reds have been past few games, although I can't recollect the last series before this one. I'm struggling to remember it.
I don't know if that one happened.
I don't think it did. I just think they
Fever
put it
dream.
up there. I think all the Reds got sick and they put out, the priesthood school for wayward boys that are blind, deaf, and dumb, and just put them in Reds uniforms. I mean, because I can't just see them.
I think you're correct there, Gordon. I think that's what happened.
Anyways, but the Houston Astros ain't playing all that well, and I know the Reds ain't been playing that well either. But they really have a good. Hey, no, like I said, y'all played the Priestley School of Wayward Boys of the deaf, dumb, and blind, so that doesn't count.
Now,
Anyways.
ignore these games up here, but just focus on these ones, right?
Yeah, what happened in that Cardinal series, by the way, Gage, right before the Reds?
Well, it looks like they got their asses whooped.
I don't know what you're talking about. Couldn't tell you.
I think they got their asses whooped. Anyway, Astros,
Gone.
So you don't remember a series either, huh?
Yeah,
Nope.
Oh, yeah. How convenient. Anyways, it's convenient for all of us. That's like memory.
Yeah.
Anyway, so playing Astros. Astros ain't been playing all that well. I'm going to give you a 75-25. How's that? 75% chance that they'll sweep the Astros. 25% chance they'll win the series. They're going to at least win the series.
Okay. All right. Gordon, I like hearing it. I'll take 2 or 3 right here. Reds and the Astros this weekend at home. We get the City Connect uniforms on Friday, the black ones, and then we get the all red on Saturday, and then back to the home whites on Sunday. Give me the Reds in this one too, 2 or 3. Let's go. Let's get back on track here. It's still early in the
way
season.
They have been playing, I would take 1 out of 3. At least it's a win.
I'm hoping for 1 out of 3 in this stupid Cubs series right here. But I mean, whatever. Maybe they'll get back on track, get back home, get well rested, everything, all that good stuff. So give me the Reds in this series coming up here. Maybe Nicodolo get over his blister and come back and pitch one time this year. I mean, Tariq Skubal's got bodies in his elbow, and he's been out here pitching. But Nicodolo gets a little blister, and he can't play for 2 years.
Actually, it'd be nice to get Hunter Green back.
It would be nice to get Hunter Green. I'll take him back too. I mean, somebody's got to come out here and pitch.
Maybe TJ will start a game.
Maybe.
Well, let's bring him off the Hall of Fame couch and he can definitely still probably throw the ball faster than 32.
Yeah, Jose Trevino. I could go out there and throw an Ephus pitch that fast.
I could throw a fastball faster than that pitch.
All
Might
right,
not be accurate, but I can at least do it.
Gage, your Pirates, they go to San Francisco. They play the Giants. They're playing the Diamondbacks right now. Are they out west? Is this one of their West Coast trips right here?
Yeah, the game last night started at like 10 o'clock. The game tonight starts at 9:40. Tomorrow's 3:40. I'm like, man, I can't stay up this late to watch a Pirates team get killed by the Diamondbacks. What are we doing? But we got Paul Skeens tonight going against Michael Soroka. Soroka, a 4.70 ERA, so he'll probably throw 7 shutout innings tonight. I'm just wanting to get a win. I feel like you guys right now, I want to get a win in this Diamondback series. We go then out to San Francisco this weekend. Pitchers for both teams to be determined. It looks like it's going to be maybe in no particular order, Braxton Ashcraft, Carmen Majinsky, Bubba Chandler. And I think that's set up especially against a not so good Giants team right now, to take 2 of 3 from home. I don't know which game they'll drop. I assume it's going to be the one that Bubba Chandler starts because he has no control over any pitches right now. But yeah, give me the Pirates in 2 of 3, and they help keep building their winning record that they got going on right now.
So I'll mention this. We talked about that last series. We don't really remember a whole lot out of it, over the weekend.
Of
But I
course.
will say Sunday's game between Chase Burns and Braxton Ashcraft was a heck of a pitching performance from both teams right there. Chase Burns went the most he's pitched in the majors so far, give up nothing. They take him out, Pirates get to run, and that's it. But what a pitching matchup that was. So Chase Burns will be pitching again this week. I mean, he's a good young up and comer right there. And I remember texting you earlier in the season. I was like, Graham Ashcraft is better than Braxton Ashcraft. Well, maybe not.
Ashcraft has been one of those guys that's like, I didn't expect him to do a whole lot. But so far this season, he sports a 3.02 ERA, 41 and 2/3 innings, 45 strikeouts to 14 walks. He's had one bad outing. This is his start before the Reds game against the Cardinals, gave up 6 over 4 1/3. Otherwise, 7 and 2/3 scoreless against the Reds, and 2 runs over 7 against the Rangers, 2 over 5 2/3 versus the Nats, 1 over 5 against the Cubs, 1 over 6 against the Orioles, and in his first start of the season, 2 over 6 against Cincinnati. He's been an incredible number 4, number 3, wherever they have him at in the rotation.
Yeah, we'll see if they can continue that. Pirates and Giants, Reds, Astros this weekend. Hopefully, teams can get back on track a little bit here. So that'll be our baseball stuff. Now let's go to a little bit of football news here. Just a few little stories. And Stephon Diggs found not guilty of assault and strangulation. Well,
Just a little story,
yeah, just a little.
And that whole thing is wild, to say the least. I'm not too sure what he has going on with his chef, but I
Yeah.
don't think it's I think she's doing a little more than just cooking him food. We'll just say that.
Yeah, and they showed like the person who accused him of these things, like up dancing around celebrating, like right after, and it's like maybe she wasn't telling the truth. I don't know. I don't know. It's weird.
Hard to say. Allegedly.
Allegedly.
Of course.
Hey, he was
Boys.
probably just strangling a Smurf. That's all. I know. We used to call it a chicken, but they've called it a Smurf. I mean, so
And you
he,
know
he
what?
was he was choking a Smurf.
This isn't the biggest Patriots storyline dominating offseason headlines either right now. But hey, that's another topic for another podcast, I think.
Yeah, there's actually a rumor that the Patriots are going to trade a first round pick for AJ Brown from the Eagles, and they just signed Romeo Dobbs, a former Packer, taking him from the main target to just looking for targets.
Yeah.
I can't help but to smile.
This is going to be a weird offseason for the Patriots. It already is. It's going to get even weirder in the next month.
Been pretty weird here the last month so far.
Yeah, Diana Rossini.
Yeah, allegedly.
Yeah,
Yeah,
there's
definitely.
rumors. There's
It's a lot of
rumors going
rumors.
around that. Oh yeah. But if Vrabel were to step down from his position for any reason, no, I'm not saying what, that they would look into getting Mike Tomlin. Sure, Tomlin, go to the Patriots, make them mediocre, please. Make them
Yeah.
9-8.
Yeah, I would gladly see the Patriots go 9-8.
Well, the first few years that Tomlin was the head coach of the Steelers, they were really good.
Well, yeah, but the Patriots don't have as good of a team as what the Steelers had then.
Yeah, but motivating can bring talent out of people.
True.
And there's one thing for certain, and I said it, you may not like his coaching style, you may not like him, but the man can motivate.
Yes,
But
absolutely.
now, you got to remember, the problem is, though, with some of the people in his locker room. I mean, Antonio Brown, the great receiver as he is, he really didn't pay attention. So if he didn't pay attention, no one else paid either.
And it's like, you know what? You may have no idea what Tomlin is saying, but after he's done, I'm sure ready to run through a brick wall for that guy.
Well, I'm ready to run into a brick wall. I'm not sure I'm going to go through it. I may
Well,
go
yeah.
backwards, but
I'm ready to take a brick wall head on.
Speaking of a brick wall, the Giants signed DJ Reader.
Woo!
not really a brick wall, but hey, former Bengal. I was kind of hoping the Bengals would have signed him. Spent the last couple of years with
He's a
Detroit.
good run
Hey, goes to
stopper.
the Giants. Yes, good run stopper. So yeah, the Giants are hey, they're trying to bolster that defense a little bit even more.
They didn't draft.
Yeah.
Marvell Reese, yeah.
Yeah.
You,
My
and you
boy.
know what other
They got
team is trying
Thibodeau.
to bolster? What other team is trying to bolster up their defense right now? The
Who's that?
Baltimore Ravens signing
Well, they need to. They
40-year-old.
sucked.
They're just signing a 40-year-old Calais Campbell.
Yeah,
him.
yeah, but that damn
Trey
near
Hendrickson.
that 7-foot defensive tackle can still play.
Well, yeah,
If
absolutely.
he lays down and just stretches, he can reach the quarterback from the center.
But Calais Campbell, this dude is still playing at a high level. Arizona last year, the guy had 6.5 sacks, and he was 39, 38.
Yeah,
And he was
39.
the primary guy they were blocking.
Yeah.
And
He's
still
there-
at 6.5.
He's there with Trey Hendrickson now.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that.
If I wished. So here
Eh,
now.
Any other signings going on this week?
There's one more I seen here. Celebrate the Packers signed Tyrod Taylor.
Well, we had to have backup. And we had one backup that everybody thought was washed up and not very good. And now he's a starter for Miami.
Yeah.
All he's got to do, I will say one thing: Tyrod's not the best starting quarterback, but when you need him in spots, he's not been that bad.
Hey,
Career, he's not been bad at all.
when he played at Buffalo, he led him to the playoffs. He was pretty decent quarterback. Went to San Diego, and when the doctor punctured his lung, hasn't really been the same quarterback since.
Well, he hadn't had no opportunities. But didn't he play for the Jets last year?
Mhm.
He went in, and I actually thought they were going to win a game, and they damn near pulled it off with him as the quarterback.
You thought the Jets were going to win a game.
Well, they did, didn't they? Eventually, nobody went winless.
Eventually, they won something.
But that one, though, they lost, but they lost with the last second score. That's how they lost that game. I actually thought I picked it right up until the last minute and a half.
You know, when we did our conspiracy theories a couple weeks ago, I'm surprised none of us said that the doctor puncturing Tyrod Taylor was on purpose.
Do you know what game that was before?
No.
Opening week 2020 season, the San Diego Chargers, maybe it's Los Angeles. It might have been Los Angeles by then. Los Angeles Chargers and the Cincinnati Bengals. Joe Burrow, Justin Herbert, week 1.
Joe Burrow and Tyrod Taylor.
And nobody thought that was going to be a premier matchup until after.
Yeah, and the Chargers got the win. So, anything else happened last week? No, Gage, you was talking about the baseball series over the weekend. What about hockey? You haven't given us any updates on the hockey.
I don't even watch hockey, so I don't know what you're talking about. Could tell you. Could not tell you. All I know is I hope the Flyers get eliminated next series.
Boy, we are exercising our selective memory.
Big time. Back to football real quick. D-Hop wants to play with the Cincinnati Bengals. Sign him.
Good.
Sign him 1 year. Sign him up.
Hey, he's old, but he still draws a lot of attention.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. He wants to play with Burrow.
If you give him adequate targets, the doesn't drop a ball.
Yeah.
He proved it that 1 year. He caught passes falling down when he was already on the ground. Yeah. They hit his hands, and they didn't bobble. They just stuck.
Yeah. Now, I don't understand why he wants to sign with Cincinnati. I mean, Cincinnati has Mitch Tinsley and Andre Yoshibas. Why would they want to bring him in? I don't get it.
Hey, I will not let you disparage the good name of Mitchell Tinsley on this podcast, okay?
I didn't. I said, why would they want to bring him in? They got these two guys that are
Oshibach is okay with his D-Hop.
Yeah, I will take, somebody can have Yoshibach for the season. If we get D-Hop, it's fine. We've got Colby Young that we just got in the draft. He's give him time to develop a little bit. Bring D-Hop in for a season. Let him guide these young receivers, and let's go.
Who do you want as your number 3, D-Hop or Tinsley?
Well, D-Hop for a season would be fine. Get Mitchell Tinsley a little bit more reps, maybe a little practice squad, a little fourth receiver out there every so often. Because, you bring him as a fourth receiver, and you're like, whoa, this guy right here is your fourth receiver? Whoa, man, You know what I mean?
Well, he was the 4th receiver in Baltimore last year, and well.
Joe Burrow's a little bit more accurate thrower than Lamar Jackson.
Or Snoop Huntley.
Doggy Dog.
Or any of the other 3 quarterbacks that they have on that team right now.
So real quick, 2027, Nope, that's not it. 27 first-time Hall of Famers. Have you seen the list, guys? I'm going to name off some players here, and I want you all to tell me, do you think these are Hall of Famers? This is for baseball.
Okay.
Tell me if you guys think these people deserve to be in the Hall of Fame. All right, let's start it out with Jake Arrieta, Hall of Famer? That's a no for me, dog.
No.
I could see the arguments for him, but I would say no.
Jay
He
Bruce.
was the pitcher, wasn't he?
Yes.
Yeah.
All right, Jay Bruce. It's a no for me. I'm a Reds
No.
fan, but it's a no. He's not a Hall of
No.
Famer.
He's kind of like borderline, but
Asdrubal Cabrera. That's a big no for me.
Nah, that's a
Yeah.
no for me, dog.
Starlin Castro.
No.
Wade Davis.
who in the
I could
Dexter
see,
Fowler.
ooh, sexy Dexy, but in MLB form? No.
That's a no.
no, I don't even know who the hell it is.
The Todd father, Todd Frazier.
You know,
He's close. I mean, winning the home run battle champion that 1 year kind of gives him a tip, but
That's a no for me.
no,
it's gonna be it's gonna be a no
he's
for me.
borderline. He's
The-
borderline, but he's not there.
The amount of trash that Todd Frazier talked on Pittsburgh when he batted 6 for him, nah, that's a no for me, dog.
Brett Gardner.
Now he's a
Right.
little closer. I'd
Yeah.
actually say out of all the ones you've named, he's about the only one.
Yeah, if we're gonna
Honestly,
take any, it'd be him.
Still a no for me on that. Scott Kazmir.
No.
No.
John Lester.
Mhm.
We're getting close.
Yeah.
I'd
Yeah.
say, okay, so we're yes on Lester. And Miller.
He's a good pitcher, huh?
Andrew Miller.
No.
Mitch Moreland.
No.
Buster Posey. This is a yes
Yeah.
for me.
Oh,
Yes.
God, yeah.
Yeah, Buster Posey. I think that's
He's the reason why
that's
the Giants won World Series is, yeah.
this is probably our home run pick right here. Yeah,
Yeah.
I hate Buster Posey because he hit a grand slam against the Reds when the Reds were up. They were ahead 2-0 coming back to Cincinnati, and in Game 5, he hits a grand slam to put it out of reach for the 2012 Cincinnati Reds. So, but he's still a Hall of Famer.
Put it like this: he batted a career 302. His last season in the league, he batted 304.
Yeah, I mean that's a slam dunk to me. Juan Santana,
No.
Kyle Seager,
Fringe. But no,
Ryan or Jordan Zimmerman, either one. I'm no on both of them.
I like Ryan Zimmerman, but I'm gonna say no for both.
Yeah, so that's our list for the first ballot Hall of Famers next year. Weak class, to say the least.
Headlined by Buster Posey.
Yeah.
yeah, Buster Posey's about the only one that I would say should be a guaranteed lock. There's a couple other ones that I think are, but there's a good case to be made for them not to be. I
Just
still
not-
think there's 3 people not in there that if they don't get in there, nobody should be able to ever be put in there.
Barry Bonds,
Barry Bonds, McGuire, and
Roger-
Clemens.
Roger Clemens.
And McGuire. I don't give a shit about roids or HGH. Pitchers and everyone else was using it too. It was just an equal playing field.
Yep, I agree. Kurt Schilling, he's also not in the Hall of Fame, should be in the Hall of Fame. Who
Mhm.
cares what you do off the field?
Who gives it? Your opinions of what you do off the field has nothing to do with what you did on the field.
Not at all.
We have breaking
Breaking
UFL news. The
Oh.
Birmingham Stallions are releasing former first-round wide receiver John Ross.
What a shock. He can't make it in the UFL either. What a bust that guy was from the start. Wow. The Ross
How bad
boys.
do you have to be to get cut from Birmingham?
Pretty bad. Pretty bad. So
Man.
I think his playing days are over with.
Unless he goes to the CFL.
Yeah, I don't think they
Now
can
they
do
got
it
different rules. He wouldn't make it there.
either.
Yeah,
He's-
true.
Yeah, he's done for. So
Yeah.
Wasn't he the one that tore his ACL running the 40?
Probably.
no, he had
Well,
the
he-
fastest 40 time in the combine.
Yeah, no, but he injured himself running it.
I don't know.
Yeah,
Bengals,
he had a 4.22 and he limped after that.
I don't know. I don't remember that. Because the Bengals, I don't think the Bengals was drafting that high. He got drafted because of his 40.
All I see is former USC offensive lineman tearing his ACL during drills at the combine.
I don't think it was
No.
John Ross.
Was.
The New Day gets their release granted. They were asked to take a cut, and I guess they said, "That's a no for me, dog. We'll just take our walking papers." They're gone. One of the Tonga boys, Tonga Loa, I think, and
Tonga Loa.
Jeff Cobb Mateo
Yeah,
released.
from the Tongas and Mateo.
Yeah,
But it ain't Mateo, no Mateo no more.
no more. He's probably going to go back to Jeff Cobb.
Kyrie Insane.
Well,
Kyrie
that-
Sane was released.
yeah, well, that was
I
talk
still
about
hate
that.
that one.
We'll talk about that last week. This was just this past week. The New Day, they're getting rid of everybody now, guys. Budget cuts.
No,
Apparently,
they're bringing up the NXTers.
Yeah, but they're getting rid of the guys that's been there for a while with the big contracts.
yeah. But they keep guys like Otis or Tozawa or
They don't
Shinsuke
cost them as
Nakamura.
much.
I'm
Well,
sure,
you
I'm
don't
sure
even see
Nakamura.
Nakamura probably does, yeah.
Well, it's like, come on, like let's
I
cut
do
some
got-
other people.
I do got a question for y'all. Who's going to kick the one off his throne?
It's Saturday.
No, I'm not talking about that.
Backlash.
Eventually, who is going to kick the king off his throne?
At
Which
Backlash.
king?
Oba.
Tribal
Right,
chief.
I know, but he might be our tribal chief, but the one that's going to take it from him is the one that stands over him in the pedestal of royalty, the ruler. In about a year when he defends it for the third time.
No. Jacob Fatu's taking it this weekend. Come on.
No, he ain't taking it off Roman this quick. It'd been different if now I might have agreed with you if it'd been like 3 or 4 months Roman's had the belt, but they're not going to do it in a month.
Now, they had Roman advertised for all of June, and then now he's not advertised for all of June. So he's back to being part-time once again. He's defending at this pay-per-view, and then it's, was it Clash at the Castle at the end of the month?
I believe
And
so.
then he's
Yes.
gone till July.
Yeah, he'll come back and he'll make an appearance at SummerSlam. He may defend the title, may not. He'll come out and talk about it, and then it'll probably be at the Royal Rumble. He'll probably defend the title and lose it to Oba.
You don't think he'll lose it at Backlash?
Oh,
Have you seen the? Have you?
Oh, God, I mean, I can only hope. Don't get me wrong, I like Roman Reigns. I've always have, but I like the old Roman Reigns that walked down to the ring and meant business, not someone there with his capped teeth and does nothing but talk. I don't like that Roman Reigns. The Roman Reigns that has capped teeth, smiles, makes jokes, and then relies on the Usos to help him keep his title. I don't like that Roman. That Roman sucks. I like the old Roman. But the ruler will be the one to take it from him because the ruler trumps the tribal chief. Tribal chief is over a few people. The ruler is over everybody. And not to mention, he's the first one to give someone an F20. Did you see that video?
Yeah.
Threw that guy off his shoulder and he did a helicopter, did like 4 full rotations in the air before he hit the ground.
Did you see the way he manhandled Otis this past week?
Well, hell, he did the same thing to Brock.
Yeah.
Yeah, he threw Otis like 6, 7 feet in the air before he hit the ground. Otis is 350 pounds.
Yeah. And then he power bombed him too with a little bit of help from the turnbuckle.
Did you see
Yeah.
Braun Strowman say, "Yeah, I've been there, done that with Otis"?
Yeah, after I saw that, I just wondered to myself, man, I wonder what Braun Strowman thinks about this.
So, Backlash is this Saturday. Who's Danhausen's partner?
I have a wild guess for this, but I'll let you guys guess.
Don.
No, he's retired, but that's funny though.
He's there.
You get it.
I will tell you what, he said he's not wrestling no more. That really wouldn't be wrestling. That would just be comedy. But if he's to me, it'd have to be someone surprised, but it cannot be a big name.
Buff
As
Bagwell.
far as popular, because if they're already in there, and someone that no one's going to expect, and it's supposed to be Miz and him not supposed to expect either. I will make a prediction. I'm probably wrong, but I will laugh if it is. Omos.
Oh.
He is still under WWE contract. The Nigerian giant, Omos.
Okay.
I'm
That's a
probably
good one.
wrong, but I would love it if he was. Omos can't wrestle, but you can't move him either.
It's like the Great Khali.
Oh, yeah. He does walk a little faster.
You
Yeah.
got a prediction on who you think?
I do, and I think it's a guy who he has a little bit of beef right now with Kit Wilson and The Miz. They didn't really do much on it that I can really remember. There might have been a tag team match, but I think it's a guy that had a slam poetry contest against Kit Wilson a few weeks ago, and country music singer Jelly Roll is going to be Danhausen's mystery partner this weekend at Backlash.
All right. So my prediction is at Backlash this Saturday, Danhausen's partner is Elton Prince.
Ooh.
Welcome back.
Okay. I like that.
So I don't know where it goes after that, but hey, yeah. But do y'all have anything else to add here at the end of this year podcast?
Don't think so. I think we hit everything. Oh, something I wanted to cover last week, but someone had technical difficulties. Don't really know who that might have been. Well,
No idea. It's crazy.
we got a new dummy flavor.
Oh, yes, we do have Dubby. Yes, so
Yes, this
It
is
was me. I had technical difficulties. I kept disappearing.
honestly, have no idea how much of the end of last week's episode there actually is, but it's at least posted.
it's later.
We got cherry limeade flavor from Dubby. It is called Cherry Limer. It's been very good. I couldn't wait another week to open it and try it. So I had to, try it off camera, unfortunately. If only someone, had working Wi-Fi. But we're going to try it out right now and just, say, hey, this is pretty good because it is. Ow, the lid fell on me. But it's fine.
Worth it for the taste, though.
This past weekend, my dad came down, and he's not an energy drink guy by any means. I was like, Dad, you like cherry limeade? You got to try it. He drank my entire cup that I had for him. I was like, oh, no, I didn't want any. No, that's fine. I'll just make another one and just use another serving, even though 30 servings come in one tub for $39.99, unless you use code yelling and save 10% at checkout. But it's pretty good. They have a couple of new flavors out there. Tiger's Blood is back, and I still have yet to try the sour gummy bear, but that's going to be the next one that we get.
Yeah, so
Eat better. This might be here. Later.
Later.